Welcome, everybody, to Spring Loaded Football Podcast, a podcast about Spring League football. We cover USFL, XFL, X League, just any kind of spring league going on. On today's episode, it's going to be really exciting. We're going to be reviewing some players that was drafted in the draft. But I'm going to bring in my buddies, my two hosts, and we got Wayne and we got Jared. And before we start the show, me and Wayne's got a little special announcement we wanted to make. Coach Cooper, it's his birthday today, and we just wanted to tell him happy birthday. So happy birthday.
Thank y'all. Appreciate that.
We planned it all
especially day. Since he's getting old.
Yeah, he's now an old man. So.
Still can't be put into retirement.
He's closer to that. You're closer to the AARP card.
Senior citizen discount, man.
That's right. Get your
coffee.
You're
going to say that 10%.
You know?
Always.
All right, guys. So this week
he's going to be hitting up the Cracker Barrel now.
This week we're going to be discussing some of the players and stuff that we didn't discuss last week. Last week we just hit the quarterbacks in the first round. So I know Wayne or Jared, you're going to be doing all the defensive positions. Wayne's going to be doing the offensive positions and the second round of quarterbacks taken. I'm going to be handling special teams and tight ends. So we'll start with Coach. Coach, what's some players you are looking forward to seeing play this year?
I'm going to go with defensive end Bryson Young. He was drafted by the Generals. He went to college at Oregon. In college, he played 49 games, had 73 tackles, 6 of them for a loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 3 blocked passes and 1 fumble recovery. He is going to be one I'm going to like to see play. Going on to the cornerbacks, William Likely. He got drafted by the Gamblers. He went to college in Maryland. He broke a 76-year-old Big Ten Conference single game record return punts, 233 yards. Interception return yards, 170, 2 of them for a touchdown. Going on to defensive tackle. It was hard. I looked at a few of them. I'm going to go with Corey Thomas. He was drafted by the Gamblers. He played at Mississippi State. He is from Alabama, Bessemer, Alabama. From what I read on him, he is a physical defensive tackle. 51 tackles and 1 interception. For a defensive tackle, an interception, hey, that's good in my book. Going on, linebackers, Scooby Wright. He got drafted by the Stallions. Hey, go Birmingham. He played at Arizona. He had 7 sacks in the NFL. He's got an NFL career. His college career, he got 83 tackles and 1 interception. And then going on to the safety position, I would probably have to go with Arnold Tarpley III. I might have said that wrong. I'm sorry if I did. If you're watching the show, I am sorry. He got drafted by the Maulers. He played at Vanderbilt. In his college career, he had 85 solo tackles, 123 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. And that's all I've got.
All right. Some pretty good picks right there. I know we're all looking forward to seeing them.
Oh, yeah.
And, like you said, that one guy with that interception at defensive tackle or whatever you're saying, that's pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
You know he's an athlete for sure.
Oh,
but Wayne,
that's about the thing about most of these.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, you have something to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That William Likely, he broke a 76-year-old Big Ten Conference record with 2 return punts. 233 yards. That kid's fast.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And where was
All
he
right,
from?
Wayne.
Maryland?
Yeah, he played. Well, yeah, he went to college in Maryland.
So Wayne, you was talking about the second round of quarterbacks taken and other offensive players. Who do we got to look forward to this year?
Well, the one that me and Jared got to see personally, I'm wanting to see if he gets any time, is Brady White from Memphis. We got to watch him at 2018 Birmingham Bowl.
Oh yeah,
and he
Memphis
done pretty good.
Yeah, he could throw the ball. Now, what got him in that game was the pressure. They put the pressure on him. He got a little scared, but I think he might be one to be watching. I think he's come out of that. I watched a little bit of highlights of him, but hey, all we can do is watch.
But you know, he led the team back. He led the team back and gave them a chance, but the kicker missed it that time.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And I mean, he was a decent quarterback. I mean, pretty good.
Yeah,
and I mean, he's 6'3", 205 pounds. So
yeah, that's a good size.
They were also bringing the pressure on him. Wake Forest was bringing the pressure on him in that game too. And I mean, I can't really blame him. I would have done the same thing too in his shoes. But he is going to be one to watch.
But if you remember from that game, Wake Forest had Jamie Newman that went to Georgia that time. He didn't play at Georgia, but he transferred there, and he was a pretty good quarterback. So, I mean, they had some tough competition that day.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got Paxton Lynch. Another Memphis kid who was a former first-round pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean he was taken 26. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see his name listed anywhere.
No.
So, and I mean, you look at who he was taken behind. He was taken behind, who was it? Jared Goff and Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
he was a
he
surprise
was right
pick
after
in the NFL draft.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He never really done much in the NFL at all, but he's got that experience he can bring to the team now with the USFL. And he might not see playing time, but if he don't, he can actually lead the team, from the locker room. Would be my hope.
Well, he had some injuries, so who knows what affected him that way.
Right.
In the NFL, there's so many people ready to step up and take a spot that the injury can knock you out and getting any more looks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then whenever you look at the offensive tackles, the one I'm wanting to see is the Corbin kid that was drafted by Tampa Bay Bandits.
Yeah.
He's 6'9", 325 pounds.
Whew.
That's a big old kid.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get around him.
So I loved it. I love to see these big kids out there playing linemen.
Oh yeah.
And he went to BYU, which is a pretty good school. I mean,
yeah.
Good names that come out of there. And then his father's a defensive line coach for BYU. And his brother played for the Green Bay Packers. So he's got some football lineage in him.
Yeah.
And at 6'9", 325, that's some.
He's got
size.
Big old mountain. Yeah, he's got the size for sure. If anything, just stand there. You'll be all right.
I don't know if he'll be on the pass block side, but he'll probably be on the running side of the ball.
You can almost guarantee they're going to run on that side, for sure.
Just look for the tallest guy on the team.
The Bandits are going to have a good run on.
Yeah, and
but, I mean, you can't say you don't want to see somebody 6'9", 325 get a chance.
That's true. But with him on that side, if you're running the ball, we could get 10 yards off that side. So so he should have some lanes to run for sure.
Unless there's somebody on defense that's pretty good size, like a Warren
7'2".
Sapp. Yeah. And a Warren Sapp Jr. or something over there.
Right. Yeah. Lawrence Taylor.
But then for center, yeah. But for center, that Nico, I'm gonna say Fala, that got drafted by the Pittsburgh Maulers.
Mhm.
He's 6'4", 301 pounds. He went to school at USC.
Wow.
Yep. So and
So
he's kind of had he had off season and preseason duties with the Jets and Broncos. Or Broncos, I think he was there for 2 years.
wow.
And then he played for the Vegas Raiders in 2021 on the off season.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he's
he's
got
been
some
around.
good experience. Yep.
That's good.
Tennessee Titans, Jets, Broncos, Raiders. Kid's gonna have some experience to bring.
Right. And
Even
that's
if
going
he
to mean a
didn't get
lot.
much playing time.
Yeah. That's going to mean a
Yeah.
lot just because they've been around it. You know, whether they were on the team for long or not, hopefully they absorb some of that information and they can use it now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, just bringing anything to the table will be good for the USFL.
Right.
And then for guard, you got another one for the Pittsburgh Maulers, Alexander. He's 6'5", 336 pounds for offensive guard.
Daggone.
And he
Some big
comes
old boys.
and he went to school at LSU. Yeah, he went to school at LSU. He's
Well,
from New Orleans.
Well, you got to have talent to play, especially at LSU. So,
The Raging Cajun.
yeah. So that's a good sign. So,
Oh yeah, and he was first team All SEC in 2015 and second team All SEC in 2014.
wow.
And he played 24 games in the NFL and started in 9 of those.
That's good.
Because he played for the Raiders 2016 to 2017.
Wow.
So 9 starts in the NFL. That's some good experience.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Any starts in the NFL, would be, any team in the USFL will be lucky to have any player that has any of that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then for running back, Trey Williams is the one I'm wanting to watch whenever we go down there and watch Birmingham play him.
Yeah.
Because he's from Texas A&M, another SEC kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he played for which is off season and signed to a bunch of these teams, but anyways, he's played for the Redskins, Cowboys, Patriots, Dolphins, Colts, Steelers, played in the CFL for off season with the Toronto Argonauts, back to the Cowboys, the San Antonio Commanders in the AAF, and then the Seattle Dragons in the XFL, back to the CFL for 2 teams, and now with the Generals.
So it sounds
And
like
he's
he hasn't had
12
really he hasn't had any off time. He's been playing somewhere every year, it seems like.
Yeah. He's been taking
or
a
at least
break.
trying to,
Or trying to, yeah.
I mean, the kid seems like he's got some hustle to be going around all them places.
Oh, for
He
sure.
ain't got no quit in him, so.
Right. And if they're at least taking a look
anybody
at
that's
him,
going to work like that.
Yeah. But like if
I don't think he'll be.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to
I
cut
don't
you
think
off.
he'll be a Herschel Walker from like. I don't think he'll be a Herschel Walker from the Generals, but.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the kid look. I just want to see somebody that works that hard get a good chance.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what this league will be, especially this first year, is underutilized talent. Maybe they're not good enough for the NFL, but we got to give them a shot here and show off what they can do, because maybe they just didn't get a chance.
Well, as well as I do, the previous leagues like the XFL, AFL, or AAF, and all these arena football.
Yeah,
there's been a bunch of talent come out there that got to showcase. I mean, you look at Kurt Warner,
I was about to say,
from the Iowa Barnstormers.
Right. and he was bagging groceries at the grocery store.
He went on to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hall of Fame. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame.
So
they made a movie about his career. If you could get half of that,
wasn't he an NFL? Wasn't he an NFL MVP too for a season?
I think so. I mean, they were the greatest show on turf. They would have won 2 Super Bowls, but they went up against Tom Brady and lost that one. So, but they beat Tennessee.
Well, I still remember that game like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. Some good stuff.
I can remember back when the Rams wasn't that good in like the mid-90s and all,
Yeah.
And seeing them win a Super Bowl was just amazing back then, like the turnaround.
Right. It would have been
so weird because then,
had Cincinnati had won it this year, it would have been the same way, I think.
Yeah.
But if you remember, I think after the Rams won it, wasn't it the Ravens won it?
Yeah, next year.
Which was really the old Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, because they had only been back in the league like 2 years, I think, at that point. And it was a defense that won them.
You remember they swapped? Oh yeah, Ray Lewis and all them.
Yeah, I mean Trent Dilfer was your quarterback,
and then
so.
Hey, don't make fun of one of my favorite players here.
Well, how about I say not to throw any shade on Trent Dilfer, but he won a Super Bowl. Good for him.
You have no idea how disappointed I was when he left Tampa Bay.
Oh, really?
Was you sitting in the corner crying?
Because I was the Tampa Bay. Just about it, because I thought him, Ward Dunn, Mike Allstott, and Sapp and all them were going to win it.
Well, they did, and
And then he
after he left,
different uniform.
Yeah,
that's what makes you mad. I guess that's what the Lions fans are thinking this year, seeing Matthew Stafford go up to L.A. and win it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're happy for him, but they got to be a little upset, because like had they just had a little more talent, they might have been able to do it. But then again, you're playing against Aaron Rodgers twice a year, and it's hard to beat him in the regular season. So.
Well, then again, you're the Detroit Lions too, so you need a lot more talent.
Well, yeah, I mean, at that time you had Stafford, and you had Calvin Johnson, who played at Georgia Tech, where they don't throw the ball ever. So I don't know how he become a wide receiver, but that's all they had. So.
And then speaking of receivers, I'm wanting to see that Victor Bolden Jr. for the Stallions that got drafted.
Yeah.
Because he's coming out of college at Oregon State, and he's got some NFL experience. He's got 1 reception, 10 yards, but he has 535 return yards.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
And he got to play with Cisco from 17 to 18. And then speaking of Detroit Lions and their wide receivers, he was there from 19 to 21.
They might have needed to sign him full time.
So a good little. Yeah. We had a perfect little transition and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, I know it. You'd almost think we know what we're doing,
Yeah. You would have thought we'd have planned that one.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all ready for me to go to mine?
So do you have any luck finding anything on a long snapper?
We'll get to that. If you're watching the video, you see me looking at my notes. Just again, we're not professional, so you have to get over it. But we're gonna start with tight ends.
Whenever he goes back to the Pee-wees.
Yeah. We're gonna start with tight ends. The one I'm interested to see is Bug Howard, 6 foot tall, 6 foot 5 inches tall, 228 pounds. Pretty good size for a tight end if you're going to be running and catching and stuff like that. He was given his nickname Bug by his grandmother when he was a baby. Just an interesting fact. I don't know what his real first name is, so I'm sure he's got one, and I'm sure he's very proud of it, him and his mother and his father, but we're not going to discuss it. But again,
Get over here.
We're not professionals, guys. His college career was played at North Carolina from 2013 to 2016. He played in 46 games with 146 receptions for a total of 2,048 yards, 18 touchdowns. So pretty good numbers. I mean, he played at North Carolina during years where they probably weren't their strongest. Probably the Larry Fedora years, I imagine. I'd have to go back and check. But, he went undrafted in the 2017 draft. He was signed by the Colts as a free agent. And he went on to play for the Browns, Panthers, Atlanta in the AAF. And, was eventually cut by the Bills this past year. And where later on he was drafted by the Philadelphia Stars in this USFL draft. So it's going to be interesting to see how, he's got experience. We just need to say how it, transitions into the spring league, and maybe he'll have a good season. I think he's the best tight end I've seen on there. So,
and tight ends are going to be used probably pretty heavy to take pressure off quarterbacks in this league.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's got the size that he can definitely block somebody. I don't know if he's going to be in the run block game, but more than likely, since he's got the history of catching the ball, I bet you we'll see him, in the end zone a few times. So, but moving on, we got punters. Colby Wanman, drafted by the Birmingham Stallions. He's 6 foot 1 inches tall, 185 pounds. His career NFL stats: 143 punts, totaling 6,369 yards, an average of 44.5 yards. 65 yards was his longest punt. And he's got 51 punts inside the 20, which is what you really want out of your punter, because that'll flip that field position and actually give you a better advantage.
Yeah.
He played college at UC Davis, not a big school, but, it was enough to get him noticed. And he played with the Raiders, Broncos, 49ers, where he was eventually cut. And again, he was drafted to this Birmingham Stallions team, the USFL. And he had great numbers in college, decent numbers in the NFL. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the punters are used, because a bunch of teams passed on them and just didn't draft a punter.
Yeah,
so this will be his first time to play down in this area.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because we got
he's played mostly out west.
Yeah, I mean, you got 5 teams that passed on punters, and I'm sure they're going to be looking at this combine that we'll talk about a little later that's coming up, and this supplemental draft they're going to have. I'm sure they're going to be looking for punters and stuff there, but it was just strange to me that it just doesn't seem like these teams valued a first round pick, or I guess that would be close to the last round pick on a punter, because I think it's a very valuable position to play.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they may be trying to fill up all the other positions and then get a punter in the supplemental or find one as a free agent.
That's true, because they are building a team from scratch. So I guess, punters, kickers, long snappers would be your bottom end, because you wouldn't take one over a quarterback or nothing like that. So, and then moving on to
the
kickers.
last kicker I can remember getting drafted.
What, Ray Guy?
The last kicker I can remember getting drafted high was Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah. Again, Raiders. Yeah, for sure. Which he worked out. I mean, he didn't actually work out, but he worked out as far as being a kicker, because he was a very large man. But
he looked like he could enjoy a cold brew.
I think he had to. That's the only way he could kick. Sort of the Kenny Stabler rule. Read your playbook by the jukebox light. But moving on to kickers, Nick Rose.
Hey, it worked for him in Namath.
That's true too. Yeah. Nick Rose, 6 foot tall, 190 pounds, college career out of Texas. He's got records at Texas as far as, his career highs and stuff like that. But, man, it's just hard finding information on these guys. I mean, again, I get stuck with the special teams and stuff, and there's just not a lot of information about these guys. But
it ain't just them, though. I mean, there's a lot of them.
That's true. I mean, in 2015, he finished the season converting 13 for 17 field goals, which is 76%, 38 for 39 on extra points, which is 97%, and a career high of 77 points. So, that's not bad at all. That's actually really good numbers. Again, he went undrafted in the 2016 NFL draft. And then, guys, it'd be easier for me to tell you what teams in the NFL he did not play for. He played for everybody. So, just take my word for it.
Break Jeff George's record?
I don't know. I've almost got a whole page
break
of
Jeff George's record?
I'm not sure if he broke it or not. I don't even know what it is. But
a lot.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. Like I said, I've almost got half a page written of just teams he played for. And that includes AAF teams and, other leagues. But again, at this position, we're looking, you got 2 teams that passed on a kicker. Again, we understand the importance of positions and stuff, especially, again, when they're building from scratch. But, man, you got to have a kicker,
Oh, yeah, always.
I mean, do you think these players in this supplemental draft and at this combine is going to be better than the guys that were actually in the draft pool? Probably not.
But he was drafted, think too, with 38 spots open for a roster, you got to get your core players.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But I forgot to mention he was drafted by the New Jersey Generals. So, and then on to my last one.
Be able to watch him.
Yeah, we'll see him.
Yeah.
He should be the starter, I imagine. I don't know why he wouldn't. But on to my final position. It's going to be long snappers. Again, very, very tough to find information because, again, a lot of teams didn't draft them, and there's not a lot of stats for a long snapper. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but, all they do is snap the ball very long, and, they just don't have stats for that. But Michael Frabani, 6 foot 2 inches tall, 223 pounds, played football at Arizona State from 2014 to 2017. He was praised as a good leader in the locker room by a special team coach. That's it. So, I wish him luck.
You don't have any Pee-wee stats?
I don't have any Pee-wee stats. I don't know what it was
like.
You
didn't mention anything.
Yeah, nothing. Again, he played for a lot of teams. And then he was cut by all them teams. And then he was later drafted by Pittsburgh in this USFL draft. So that's all I got. Y'all got any more information on long snappers and the history of long snapping?
Can you do a demonstration of long snapping for us?
Yeah. So,
maybe we can get a video this weekend of Brian demonstrating.
Yeah.
Right. You have to help me up, but I'll definitely try if you want to.
if we can get 50 likes on this video right here, Brian is going to do a demonstration of a long snapping.
Yeah, let's do that. If we can get 50 likes on our YouTube channel, I will post a video of me trying to long snap the football to Jared.
And I will kick it.
Yeah, and he'll punt it or whatever, So remember, 50 likes, and you'll see me long snap the football. You don't want to miss it. I promise you.
And then if we can hit 100, Wayne will catch the ball and run it back.
Yeah.
We're just sweeten the deal here. Come on, 50 to 100.
No.
Maybe we should talk about
my running days went out when Clinton was president.
Yeah, let's go over all these challenges we're going to do.
This wasn't in the pre-show notes.
No, it wasn't.
It's in the fine print. You did read it.
Oh, but guys.
But I think people can tell we kind of host you on positions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got the tight end. That was a sweet spot. I could find some information on some of them guys. I remember Bug Howard playing. I watched him play. But I don't pay attention to the long snapper. No offense to any long snapper out there. Go make your money. I hope you do very well, and I'll cheer you on when we're down there on the first game. Both teams. I'll give it both of them. But again, there's no stats. I hate to go back to it, but with wide receivers and quarterbacks, you can talk about passing yards and receptions all day long. Long snapper, you got to talk about what their coach told them when they was in college. So that's all you can do.
Yeah, the tight end was the bone we threw you.
Yeah, that's why I started with that one. Just in case anybody turned it off, they'd at least hear something good.
Well, remember, you forgot one valuable rule: laces out.
Yeah. We'll never forget that. Thank you, Ace Ventura.
All righty then.
But transitioning to the XFL. They had some news last week come out that we didn't cover. We teased it last episode. They partnered with the NFL. They're going to pretty much be a feeder league for new technology as far as rules and maybe, just safety equipment. And, what do you think about this, guys? I mean, we've got a spring league that's partnered with the NFL. We all figured that was probably going to be the case with Dwayne Johnson being the owner, that he was probably going to try to make a deal with the NFL. And this ain't so much a feeder league of players. This is a feeder league for ideas and, new inventions.
Oh, yeah.
Which you got to think, we thought it whenever he was at the Super Bowl, doing the pre-show stuff and all that there was something kind of in the works.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but he wouldn't have been there if the deal wasn't struck.
Do you really think they're going to care about the players?
No. Not a chance.
Because if they're worried about equipment and turf and all that, I mean, some guys are going to get a chance to shine, but if the NFL is worried about protecting their own people, I don't see them caring about the players in the XFL.
No, I think this might eventually lead into some kind of feeder system years down the road if it lasts that long. But for the short term, they took camera designs and camera angles from the first XFL and then lied and said they didn't take it, that they invented it, which was, a lie. They'll do it with this, only, the XFL will know about it this time because they agreed to everything. And, it's good for the XFL. It's going to, get their name out there, which is what they need. But, I mean, Lord have mercy, The Rock owns you. Your name's already out there.
Oh, yeah.
So, and how much do you think the NFL is going to be controlling it? Or the NFL will be controlling the XFL?
You want to run that by me one more time?
They said, how much
control do you think the NFL will have on the XFL?
A lot. I really do. I mean, it's almost like they sold it to the NFL. That's what it feels like to me.
So, I mean, if the NFL is telling them what to do,
right?
Is it really about the players or
no?
But you got to think.
Not.
But you got to think too. It's another place for players to showcase their talent.
Right. I mean, there will definitely be stars made from this XFL, and they might get a shot in the NFL. But they're not taking an XFL player like a quarterback over a talent coming out of college. That's not going to happen. They're going to take that chance on the college player every time.
And if you're a player, do you want to go somewhere where it's experimental, where they're going to use you as like I hate to say it, but like a test dummy? Or would you rather go to a league like the USFL that's going to be for you?
I can see it being tempting to go to the XFL just because it's got the association with the NFL. But like you said, if they don't care about the players, you wouldn't want to go because they might change the rules from year to year. And that doesn't help you learn how to play, or play any better. It needs to be consistent.
Well, it can mess up your game too from year to year.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you might have a breakout year and then they change a rule, and then next year you're nothing.
Yeah. Yep. That is for sure. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out, and we'll keep everybody updated on any other news and information from the XFL. But now we're going to transition to Coach's Corner. Coach Cooper is going to be discussing some news around the spring league football world. Coach, we're going to turn it over to you.
All right. Upcoming events and announcements. The X League tickets are going on sale March the 15th. As will be scheduled to release on March the 1st. The first game announced for the opening night will be the Chicago Blitz and Kansas City Force on June the 10th. Check out xleague.live website for more information. On other news, a supplemental draft for the USFL is scheduled for March the 10th, 2022. With an additional 80 players selected to fill up the 3 final roster spots for each team and 7 practice squad spots. USFL Combine is scheduled for March 19th and 20th in Birmingham. And that's the news. Stay classy.
All right, everybody, that's going to be the end of the news. And we thank you for listening to the Spring Loaded Football Podcast. You can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts every Friday. The show will be dropping next week, same time, same channel. It'll be 6 a.m. on Friday mornings. You can check our YouTube channel out, which it's exploded. We are floored by the amount of views we've had so far. And remember what Coach said, if we can get 50 views on this video, I'll long snap the football. If we can get 100, we'll have Coach and Wayne either punt and catch. It'll be one crazy video for sure. But check us out next week, and we appreciate everybody for listening and the continued support. We'll see you next time, guys.